Thank you. Well, now comes the time. You know, I've said this many times, and I can't put into words how much of an honor that it is to me. I've been singing Johnny Cash since 1964, and we've had a lot of fun with it over the years. But I've met some of the nicest people in the world, I have to say that. But the last few months, it's been unreal. I feel like I'm on a ride that I still have to slap myself every once in a while and pick myself up out of the gutter and make sure that I'm not dreaming. But the man I'm about to introduce to you is a legend. And there's not too many of them left. But this guy, it's the ultimate thrill to stand in front of him. But more importantly, he's a friend of mine. A wonderful man. The only man that I can think of that, first man, this is fact, first man to ever play a set of drums on the Grand Ole Opry. Can you imagine that? I can't imagine what it was like back in those days. Maybe he can tell you. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, played the $1 Million Quartet, started out with Carl Perkins, and the list goes on and on. A legendary figure. He's here with us tonight. He's my friend, ladies and gentlemen, the legendary W.S. Holland.
Frank, that's quite an introduction. I had to look around and see who you was talking about there for a while. I wasn't sure. What an honor it is to be here in Dice, Arkansas tonight with Frank and the guys and with all y'all. So many memories about Johnny Cash. Boy, Frank did a bang-up job there talking about some of them. It's amazing. I met Johnny Cash 1955, recording studio in Memphis, Sun Records. I was there with Carl Perkins. Actually started in the business with him in 1954. I lived in a little town over in Jackson, Tennessee, about 70 or 80 miles out of Memphis. We was playing the clubs around there. Or him and his two brothers was. I just graduated from high school and I never thought about being in the music business. I was going to be an air conditioner technician. Air conditioning was just coming in. And I'd go to some of those clubs that Carl and his two brothers was playing. For some reason, I don't know why, on some of the up-tempo songs, I started walking up to the side of the upright bass, just keeping time on up-tempo songs and Hank Williams songs of that caliber. I never thought about being in the music business, and it wasn't on my mind to be in the music business. Never played an instrument. Didn't even know how to spell drum. But one night I was hanging around when they got through playing at a club called Hilltop Inn. Carl said, we got an engagement next Thursday. Sam Phillips over at Sun Records. He said, borrow some drums and go with me. I said, man, I can't play drums. No way I could do that. He said, yeah, you keep time on that bass, you can play drums. I don't know why I did it. For some reason, I went the next day and borrowed some drums from a guy. Told him what I was going to do. I said, we're going over to Memphis Thursday for a record audition with Sam Phillips. He said, well, you can't play drums. I said, yeah, but I'll be playing on Thursday. So, one night, on a Tuesday night, just one night before we went over, I went out to a little club and sat in, played with Carl and his three brothers, and I never had seen a drum set up, so I set them up backwards. Still set them up that way. We go to Memphis the next Thursday. We get in my car and drive over to Memphis, meet Sam Phillips, go in and play him the only thing we knew to play. For some reason, he liked it. We got a recording contract that day. That was in late '54. I found out later, years later, probably 20 years later, I was talking about it, and I said, Carl, I can you ask me, of all people, to go to Memphis with you for a record session? He said, you're the only person that I knew in Jackson, Tennessee had a car I thought might make it. So I tell people getting into business now, if you want to get into the music business and play a long time, get you a good car first. So it worked for me. But in 1955, here comes the rest of the Sun group. Johnny Cash, Roy Orbison, Billy Ryan, Sonny Perkins, just a whole big group of people on Sun Records. We all toured together for about 6 years there. Sam Phillips started a booking agent, just booking the song artists, and we all toured together for all that part of the country. I bet there might be somebody here that remembers some of the clubs over in this part of the world. A disc jockey named Jimmy Hackett had a noon radio show on Live. He had a band, and he would book all the Sun acts. And there was a place over in this part of the country called the B&B Club. Is there anybody in this audience ever heard of the B&B Club? Nobody here that old. We've got a young audience. But the reason I remember it so much, it was so rough. Y'all don't know how rough people used to be in Arkansas. We'd come play a show, it would be full of people, and it was so tough and so bricks at the door. Fight with us, so we all had a big time. But there's another guy that I know that y'all have heard of, a fellow named Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
He was on all the shows with us back then. So we did that for a period of about 6 years. At the end of the 50s, it seemed like everything was kind of over for Sun Records. Elvis had gone to RCA. Judd had gone to Columbia Records. Carl had gone to Columbia Records. Jerry Lee had gone crazy. No. Jerry Lee's my good buddy. But it seemed like it was over, and I was going to retire. Been in the business 6 years. Done everything I figured I'd ever do. Played on the first record to go to #1 in all 3 charts. Played Carnegie Hall, TV shows, been in movies. And I met Joyce, and we decided we would get married. We've been going together for a couple of years. I drive around Jackson, Tennessee there in a big long Cadillac. 3 payments behind on it. Didn't know how I was going to make the next payment. I met her. She had a good job, had a car paid for, a house paid for. She finally talked me into marrying her. And she's with me all these years later. She goes everywhere I go. She's with me here tonight. She won't let you leave without buying a picture or a drumstick or something, or a CD or something like that. After all these years, 48 years later, she's been putting up with me. And we're having the time of our life. And about the time we decided to get married, I was going to retire, get a real job, so I'd get a paycheck every Friday night. Got a call from John Cash. He got his first big engagement up in New York. He just had the 2 guys in the band. He called me and wanted me to go with him for 2 weeks. And I went for those 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks lasted almost 40 years. And all the time we toured, like I said, we toured all over the world many, many times. We played the White House, played for the Queen, played in London. I don't think I ever had any more fun or enjoyed being in any of those places that I'm having here tonight with these guys and you guys and Frank. It's amazing to me. and come back over here to Dice, Arkansas with John's firm and help do everything over there that we need to do. So we're going to keep doing it till we get it like it needs to be. And if y'all just keep coming to see us, sooner or later we'll have this place on the map. You'll probably wish it didn't happen, because at least many tour buses in here, y'all will be able to drive around like you want to. But all those years, I traveled with John, and if we had about 2 or 3 days, we would sit up here and tell you some of the stories that exist during all that time. And Frank and me, and I think in a minute, is going to maybe come out and sit out on the front of the stage of some stools, and y'all can ask us some questions, and if they're not too hard, we'll answer them. But all those years, Joyce, every so often, she would say, you need to record a drum solo. And I told her, I said, nobody cares about a drum solo. They make too much noise. She said, well, John liked them. He listened to you 40 years or more. So I decided to go back over to Memphis. Same place I started 50 years before, do a drum solo. But before we do that, now I know somebody here did go see the movie Walk the Line. Did anybody go see it? It was a good movie. It was real entertaining. Everybody did a real good job of making the movie. However, there's one thing that happened that y'all didn't realize happened. As good as the movie was, and as much as y'all liked seeing the movie, you almost didn't get to see it, because it almost didn't happen. See, they like to never found anybody to play my part as pretty as I was in 1965. But they got it made, and it was great. Back to the drum thing. So I said, okay, I'll go back over the sun and do that. And we went back 50 years later. I tried to set up in as near as I could to the spot I did the first time I went in. And we recorded a thing called Drum Time. Now I'm going to do it for you. Maybe a little noisy. And if you don't like it, it's okay. It won't hurt my feelings. You can fuss at Joyce when you leave, because she's the reason you got to hear it. So we're going to try it.
Frank, you ready? Let her rip there, kid. You're not going to dance, are you? If you want to, all right. 2, 3, 4. Drum time!
Ladies and